yeah.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone, to Blame Your Brother. This is episode 255. We are back once again to talk to you for the next hour or so. We got a lot of fun things to talk about tonight. The best mustachioed characters, the Mount Rushmore of Mustachioed Characters, which will be a fun subject to jump into. Lots of names on the list here, so that'd be fun to knock that down a little bit. We've got to talk about, I want to talk about some Halloween Hollywood celebrities. There's one in particular, and we'll get to it, that kind of set me off here. We have a Dear John tonight. Somebody wrote in that needs some advice, so we're excited to bring that segment back and, news and things like that. So we'll go ahead and get started. We are Blame Your Brother. I'm one half of this duo. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, voice of people, Glenn Jackson, spiritual midget, Mr. Wonderful, and this gentleman sitting over to my left is John.
Everybody here? John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. Mr. Groupon, Turd Ferguson, Mr. PTI, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do have madman.
Okay, he's a madman.
And as Half Pint said, our friend that used to listen to the show, a certified madman. So I'm going to bring this up. Last week, we said one gotta go. We did a one gotta go. It's a recap of last week's episode. One gotta go.
One gotta go. 4 comedy shows. We had Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Sunny in Philadelphia, and
Arrested
Development.
Yes,
Yes.
there you go. Okay. All right, so I'll put it out on the Twitterverse, and it got a lot of reaction. All right, so we're just going over it. So once again, we're giving you 4 shows. John said Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Arrested Development, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One has to be erased from the history of television. Never will have existed. Here's the comments we got. This is from Patrick Thomas, who was on the podcast. He's on the Big D and Bubba show, the producer. He said, I'm going to get so much heat for this. I only care about Seinfeld on the list. The other 3 can go. Oh, that is a hot take, bro. KG McGregor only on Twitter, good listener friend of ours, says I've only seen 2 of the 4 shows, so I don't know. I think he clarifies later. Marissa Hempel said you don't need anything else but Sunny in Philadelphia. Rooster, who is of the Sobro team, Sobro Rooster, said Seinfeld can kick rocks, and I wrote back. I said, what is this blasphemy? I think that's crazy when people say that about Seinfeld. Okay, so KG McGregor only said, I've never seen Curb or Always Sunny, so I have to say Always Sunny has to go, which that's fair. I mean, that's a fair. Baco from Cobras and Fires says Curb Your Enthusiasm has to go. That's a hot take. Half Pint said bye-bye to Arrested Development, which I kind of agreed with. Glenda Sawyer, friend of ours in the chat right now, says Seinfeld is the only one I've ever watched. And there's other replies on here, but it's got a lot of heat, a lot of traction, not heat. It got a lot of traction. People jumped in with their opinions. I stick by mine. John, you said Curb Your Enthusiasm. Are you sticking by? You said that.
I'm sticking with it because
that's trash, man.
They're so alike. It's so alike with Seinfeld. But
right.
It's Seinfeld covers a wider audience. So I mean,
Curb is a better show. I'm on that record right now. It is a funnier show. It is Larry David. It's like, which is the better Kobe Bryant? Okay, young Kobe Bryant or old Kobe Bryant? And I say the older Kobe Bryant was better. The younger one was probably more raw talent, but he over the years
became refined.
Yes. Curb is the same thing. Seinfeld was the young Larry David, and now we're the refined Larry David with Curb, with no shackles of any. You can say whatever you want.
Absolutely no shackles.
Right.
Yes.
Language is not an issue, anything like that. So, but anyway, hey, at least I understand your point. For someone I said Arrested Development, and I agree with that point. But for people to get on here and say Seinfeld, they just don't get it. They have to be like a certain age, right? They have to be much younger than us. Like,
yeah,
if a
I'd agree with that.
If a 25-year-old is like, I don't get Seinfeld. Okay, I get it. Like maybe you watch Curb and you're like, what is this crap? And I understand that. It makes sense to me. But I believe Sobro Rooster is at least in our age area. That's a hot take. You don't meet many people that say Seinfeld can kick rocks. So Trapper is in the chat. Thank you, Trapper, for hanging out. Fantastic artist. Go check him out. I mean, man of many talents, but you can go check out his music on Spotify. Trapper Haskins. Curb Your Enthusiasm can pound sand. Woo, man. John and Trapper lining up.
I'm not saying
The
that.
stars are lined. No, you are. No, if you're saying it's a race from history, that's exactly what you're saying.
All those shows are amazing shows.
How good is Arrested Development after the third season? Now, we got to be real here. The fourth and fifth season, as it was called, was not very good. So 3/5 is good. Seinfeld, good all the way through. Curb, I've never seen a bad episode. Sunny, always good. Every freaking episode. That's my criteria. So everybody's got their own criteria. So I understand. It's fine. Firestorm Jeffrey Tortorella says, I love Seinfeld. Well, good for you. And he is much younger than us. So there we go. It's fun, though. So maybe we'll think of more like that. We need to think of and I like them when they're tough. I don't like them when it's Friends and Big Bang and Seinfeld. Well, that's stupid because the audiences are all over the place. It doesn't even make any sense. The people that like Big Bang do not like Seinfeld. I mean, I know you do, but the Venn diagram is very small for those two people. It's like that big, but anyway. So Doug Metcalf said, never seen any of the show. And this is your boy that you work with.
Yes, I work with Doug, and I'm trying to bring him around.
So if you're going to start him with just one of those shows, you got to look at his age, the climate we're in today, technology, how TV shows, like which of the four would you start him with?
Seinfeld.
Okay, there we go. So, first season?
You got to just dive in.
The first season.
If I were to bring him into one episode,
yeah.
Oh, it's got to be Master of Your Domain.
Okay, well, I mean that's an all-time episode. I mean.
So yeah, but I mean, some of the episodes. I mean, there is some back work that you would need.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You kind of have to know the characters. So, you gave him 6 movies to watch this morning. Real quick, do you want to recap? What are these 6 movies?
Oh boy.
I mean, or some of them. You don't have to say all.
500 Days of Summer.
Okay. Good movie. It's all right.
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Okay. Dark.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
All right. Picking up.
He's never seen Shawshank Redemption.
Wow.
And
he is young.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's, I dare say, one of the best movies ever.
You're doing pretty good. Don't mess it up at the end.
I mean, you I would disagree with the last 2.
Then just leave. Okay, let me hear him then. You should have just said, I don't remember, and I'd be like, John, I'm very impressed by your movie.
I don't remember.
What are the other 2?
The other 2 are Speed Racer and...
I've never seen Speed Racer, to be fair. So I know it's directed by a director who has a sense of style, so I'll give you that. Wachowskis?
Yeah, the Wachowski
brothers.
I
mean,
while they were still brothers.
I have not seen it. I cannot knock you for a movie I haven't seen. So.
And Stardust.
I've seen Stardust is all right. I mean, I wouldn't be of 6 movies I'd recommend anyone, but I get it. It's not a bad movie. So.
I recommended Stardust for what he would like.
Oh, okay.
The other ones, even Speed Racer, I recommended for what I think he would like.
Gotcha.
The other ones are, I think they're movies you need to see, no matter who you are.
We're going to get into movie you have to see and how I feel it's been disgraced later on. So that's teased. So hang on for that. All right, well, let's just get going then. We're already going. I don't know why I would say let's get going. Like, this week, how's it been for you, John? Same SOS, SOSD, whatever. So I went and got my booster shot yesterday. I was eligible to get the booster vaccine shot. I got it. No side effects at all. So, fantastic. So I was, always apprehensive of I was never apprehensive of getting the vaccination for COVID-19, but I was apprehensive of the side effects might be. And honestly, my arm was a little bit sore this time, but other than that, I'm doing good. So if you get the chance to do it, go get the booster shot. Especially, we're going to talk COVID in a little bit. It's about to get out of control. I mean, there's going to be this is a wild time to be alive in America. I will say that. Like, I always used to look at like the Great Depression, like can you imagine living through the Great Depression? No, I couldn't. Could you imagine living through World War II? No. Like I can't. We are in defining moment of history right now. We are literally, we missed all of it. Like the Gen Xers just, we came in and everything was done. It was like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like our biggest moment was September 11th, right?
Yeah.
Which was literally a few hours. And then the, I know we were still there recently, but there was no war. I mean, it never really, nothing really happened. We still don't know who was responsible. So that was like our big moment. Now we have it. Now we're in the history moment, so it's very fascinating. But yes, go get your booster shots if you can do that. So how was Halloween for you guys?
Spent most of it at your house.
That's right. That was fun. Yeah, we had all the kids over, and it was a lot of kids over there, man. It was kind of wild. Like one kid almost fell down the steps, and honestly, if that kid would have been hurt, because that's Abby's like best friend. It doesn't matter who it was. I mean, if any kid, I felt like after that, I was like, I need to do something with these kids, because if anything happened to these kids, I would be like, I don't even know what I would be like.
Yeah, you did kind of from that moment on in the party, you kind of turned into the let's get these kids in an activity where they were monitored.
My heart would have broken, honestly. If that girl would have been seriously hurt, I just would not have been in a good mindset like ever. So, but anyway, it was fun. All the kids had a good time. It was like a lot of kids running around, good company. So yeah, that was good. But so you took the kids out trick or treating, or you took them to a trunk or treat, right?
The wife took the kids to the trunk or treat.
Okay.
I had to work that night, so I needed to just get some sleep.
Yeah.
They had fun. Did some bouncy houses and stuff. Asher was Spider-Man, and
nice. Okay.
And Emily was Minnie Mouse. And
okay.
They had fun.
Good. Yeah, we just went around the neighborhood. Nick did not want to go, so he did not. That was my middle child. So my oldest child was dressed up as Michael Jordan from, no blackface, but Michael Jordan from the original Space Jam. And he went over to some guy's house, and the guy was like, Space Jam, which one is that? And he turned around and said Jordan on the back. He goes, all right, that's the right decision. I was like, hey, there we go. Gen X gets it. Yeah, so, and then Abby was Princess, let it go, Elsa. Is that her name? Yeah. So it was good, and I went around with my anonymous mask on. So I did get dressed up, and I got some pretty cool pictures, man. You can get some nice pictures at night with the iPhones.
I was surprised when I saw that. I was like, whoa.
I just wanted to freak my neighbors out. As one guy said, he goes, did you get dressed up for Halloween? I said, no, I was just going, our meeting was that same night, so I was just walking over to the anonymous meeting, because all my conservative neighbors would have loved that. And the scariest thing in my neighborhood was the Trump 2024 sign right across the street from me, which was not a prop. It's there year round. So there you go. But yeah, Halloween, it was fun. Had lots of candy, and we took so my dentist was in the military, and he does this thing where he sends candy to the troops. So most of the candy we packed up and we took it over to him. He's going to send it out to the troops. So I thought that was pretty cool. I can imagine if you're overseas, that little things like that probably mean a lot. And to me, we didn't really need all that candy, but we had a lot, so it was good. Yeah. But hey, it was good. It was a good Halloween. It was, now we're moving on to Thanksgiving, and I think we're jumping right over Thanksgiving to Christmas, because I was seeing Christmas things before Halloween happened in stores. I mean, we can get into that another day. It's kind of crazy. We need to respect Thanksgiving. We need to put some respect on the holiday's name. It is, what I think of it. It's one of the greatest holidays that's ever existed. So let's slow down, people. Slow down with the Christmas stuff. It will get here. But, I don't know what's going to be like this year, because there's a lot of issues with shipping, getting things, and maybe we all need to dial down.
I don't know what it is, but, I mean, last year, if you were to come over to my house today, the tree would have been up already. The lights would have been hung up on the front. And I don't know, I'm not really feeling it yet this year.
It's weird. It's weird. I mean, I know last year was strange, but this year is continuing a lot of that strangeness, truthfully. I mean, it's just a weird time. I don't know. We do have Christmas lights up, but there's these guys, these young kids. I mean, they're like teenagers. They come around and put lights up for you. So our whole house is decked out with Christmas. I mean, it's not like Christmas Vacation or anything, but we got lights up and everything, so it's pretty cool. So we do have that.
That's a first for you as well.
Well, we did it last year, but probably a little bit later. But they're doing it earlier this year. But they're two young kids, and they, pretty nice kids. So that was good. Doug Metcalf said, already listening to Christmas music. Okay. No, you don't. You do not need to be doing that, sir. All right. All right, well, let's jump into some news stories. There's not a whole lot, but one of the big stories coming out this week is the COVID-19 information. I don't know if you heard about this or not, John, but Mr. Biden put down the gauntlet today. Have you heard this story?
I have not.
White House sets early January deadline for private sectors to comply with new vaccine rules. Employers in the private sector, and I'm saying private, I'm not saying public, this is private sector, will have 2 months to ensure their workers are fully vaccinated or tested weekly under a new federal regulation detailed Thursday that will affect more than 2/3 of the country's workforce. Any employer failing to meet the requirements by January 4th could face nearly $14,000 in fines for each employee who isn't in compliance. Employees who are not fully vaccinated will be responsible. The employee will be responsible for covering the cost of their own weekly testing. Employers will be required to provide paid time off for workers to get vaccinated and recover from any side effects starting December 5th. The same day when unvaccinated employees will be required to wear a mask in the workplace. This is a federal guideline that's going into place. And as you can imagine, I know it's a big shock. Republicans are losing their mind over this. I've seen, so today, the funny one, well, of course, Marsha Blackburn, our local, whatever she's, representative, senator, I don't know what she is. She's a mad person, insane person. But I did say our boy from WWE, Mr. Kane, Mr. Glenn Jacobs, said that they will not comply with these rules. So let's go into it. Do you think this is an over, and I want to kind of look at it from different perspectives, but do you think it's an overreach by the federal government to require the country to get vaccinated? Essentially, they're requiring the country to get vaccinated. It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. In all honesty, though, I mean, I've been saying something similar to this about 10 years ago.
Okay.
About having people who are not eligible to work in our country.
Yeah.
That the same, the people hiring them should be fined.
Yeah, should be fined, which would cut down on illegal workers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have suggested that,
And I mean, I've been saying that for years, and it's not anywhere near. And I mean, it just and for them to take this opportunity to make a judgment like that, really twerked the nerves of a lot of people.
Yeah, if you asked me 5 years ago, I would have been losing my mind about this, right? But I think we're at the stage where I look at it like a kid, right? I mean, we most of us have children. Most of them in the chat room have had children, or you are a child. So you can ask your kid to do something, right? Like go clean your room. You can just ask him to do it. Please go clean your room. I'm ordering you, but I'm not really ordering. I'm asking you to go clean your room. The room's not clean. I'm asking you again. Here, I'm gonna give you $100 if you clean your room. I'm gonna give you this if you clean your room. And the room continues not to be clean. At some point, you've got to go. No, you are ordered. I'm authorizing full discipline on you if you do not go clean your room. And this is what I feel like we're at. I'm talking to people still. They're like, I'm just, I don't want to get vaccinated. I'm going to wait 5 or 10 years. And I was thinking about this last night. It's kind of a sucky situation for the people that believe in vaccination, because essentially we will never win an argument because, okay, let's say the vaccines are bad, right? And let's say in 10 years we all start dying horribly, which I think there's no chance of that happening. But just hypothetically, this is a Zack Snyder movie. We all start dying. They're all going to be able to look at us and go, I told you, right? There's never a case where we're going to be able to look at them and say, I told you, because they'll always want more time for the vaccinations, right? So they'll be, 10 years, 20 years, 30. Oh, it could be 2 generations. So the thing with these conspiracy people.
It's impacting our grandkids.
Right. You can never really win against them because you can.
It's like betting someone that something will never happen.
Right.
You're never going to win that bet.
Right, exactly. I bet you the Browns will never win the Super Bowl, and if they do, I'll pay you. It's like, all right, man. I mean, but like that could be 100 years from now. I could be dead when this happens. Like, so I just think we're at the point that we've asked nicely. We've literally asked, look, and I understand there's medical exemptions, and that's what they always want to bring up. Oh, there's a medical exemption. I can't bring it. Okay, dude, look, that's like a minuscule amount, you know. That's like there's a stain in your kid's carpet. I can't get that little stain out. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm talking about the majority of the room has to be clean. We need the majority of the country to get vaccinated, okay? There's many of us. You've been vaccinated. Now I've got the booster shot. There's other people. We're fine, people. We're not dropping dead. We're not having weird side effects. It's time to put this kid stuff aside. And I feel these people are just doing this because they want to. There's no other reason for it at this point. Yeah. If this was the 1980s and there was no social media, 90% of the country would be vaccinated by now because you did it. You were just like, all right, let's go get vaccinated. You know, I know there's pros and cons to both of that, and I'm sure Republicans are going to be upset. I cannot wait to see what happens when these people do not comply. Because essentially, the federal government cannot go out and enforce everyone, right? I mean, that would almost be impossible to do because you're looking at states like Tennessee outside of Nashville and Memphis that are basically just going, we're not doing it. We're telling you right now, we're not going to do it. So I don't know. It's affecting police officers now, firefighters, nurses, air travel. It's going to be wild. Everyone's like, yo, man, I can't wait for 2022. 2022 could be wilder than 2021.
Yeah. I mean, there very well could be a civil war.
You know, there very well could be. There very well could be. And when that happens, these people will lose just like they lost the first one. They'll lose. You're not going to fight the federal government with your... That's what we got a militia. Yeah, we've got tanks and airplanes, bro. Do you have these things? No, then you're dead. And once you declare war on the United States, you're no longer treated as a civilian. They will kill you on the spot. So but it's just going to negatively impact. If that was to happen, it's a negative impact for us. Like us, the people that would not revolt, it's bad. I mean, you're losing a large portion of the economy. You're losing workers. You're losing, minus the morale, because of a shot, a vaccination, where kids get 15 vaccinations before they're 5 years old. I mean, are these parents are they doing their research on that? I'm doing research. I don't even know what that means at this point. What is research? Are you literally logging into Facebook going, yep, got it. Here's the research. Research involves time and science and analysis, and you people are not capable of researching. You're not, or you would be scientists. And they point to one doctor. Somebody at work pulled that up the other day, and I was like, well, I've heard that this thing works. I go, heard it from who? A doctor. I go, who? Who are these doctors? Well, I don't know who they are. Okay, exactly. You can't go around saying this and that. Stupid. So that's coming January 4th, close to January 6th. So there might be another upheaval at the Capitol. Is what I'll
go down a little differently.
Yeah, well, they'll be prepared this time. But all I'm saying is, if you're willing to quit your job and live in the mountains, then I say go for it. On that one, go for it, man. Go far away, get out of here. Then I'm not, but
I mean, if you want to live an isolated life, then guess what? You're not going to give me COVID anyway.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
Go ahead.
But here's what I really love. So I'm watching on Netflix right now the Colin Kaepernick. He has a series, and I didn't know what the series was about. I just heard a lot of chatter from the conservatives. Oh, this show. Oh. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. I mean, I dig Colin. I'm down with Colin. I'm down with his cause, right? And it's basically, he's narrating, but an actor is playing him as a kid. And I think it's a very fascinating look at his life. It's obviously his perspective. It was him being a black kid. He was adopted by white parents. I don't know if a lot of people know his story. He was biracial to begin with, and then he was adopted by white parents. And there's a lot of the struggles he went through. And I can understand it. I've had black friends who went through some of the same things. I understand it. We've seen it in society. You're black, you can't be a quarterback. That's been a stigma in NFL for years. I mean, it's not something new. We all grew up with it, Yeah. I think it's a very fascinating documentary, or a docuseries, I guess is what they're calling it, because he narrates it and he goes into, and one of the big things he first says is the combines, you can compare it to the slave the slave trade, and people are like, how dare you say that? I get both sides. Okay, look, can you compare it to the slave trade? Of course you can. I mean, because they're taking these dudes, they're measuring them, they're seeing how high they can jump, how fast they can run, they're signing them to contracts, and they pretty much own them by the owner. But it is for a lot of money. I mean, that's why I think Colin sometimes loses track of that. I mean, dude, look, you want to pay me $20 million, but it's still, I mean, you know, I could see the things. And he goes into things like that. So anyways, if you want to check that out, it's on Netflix. But here's what I'm saying. So Clay Travis is like, you know, Clay Travis, Fox News, outkicked the coverage, blah, blah, blah. Conservative guy here in Nashville. I'm sure you guys know who he is if you listen. He's always been big on Colin. Colin's a hypocrite. Colin shouldn't have done this. Colin won't do this, you know. Which is odd because are you familiar with Kyrie Irving, the basketball player? He plays... maybe for the Nets now, I believe. He jumps teams a lot. He played with LeBron for a couple of years in Cleveland. He has come out and said he is not vaccinated, and he will not get vaccinated. And they're like, all right, bro. I mean, if you don't get vaccinated, you can't play in certain games. Like, and Clay Travis, like, this guy's a hero. I'm like, a hero? Wait a minute. What's the difference between these two guys here? I mean, they both basically said, I'm not going to respect the policy that's in place, so... The only thing I would say with Colin Kaepernick, I don't believe Colin Kaepernick was subjecting people to a global pandemic result by his inability to get a vaccine, you know. Yeah. But, you know, they'd sit around concerned like, oh, you got to obey the law, obey the cops, you know, thin blue line, do all this. But then it's like, well, you guys are doing just the opposite. The federal government's telling you not to do something, and you said you're not going to do it. What's the difference?
Yeah.
So it's
well,
wild.
I mean, Colin Kaepernick's not really putting anyone in danger.
Zero. It was silly. It's the silliest. We'll look back and go, it's one of the silliest things ever. Like, I mean, it's idolatry of the flag is what it is. I mean, essentially, that's what it came down to. It's like, oh, we worship the flag. Like, I mean, okay, yeah, I guess, bro. I mean, and once again, the funny thing is Colin Kaepernick's not even the only one who was doing it, right? I mean, that's what's crazy. He was just the one that they picked, you know. So anyway, good doc if you want to check it out. But that's the news. That's the big story in the news. So let's see how that plays out over the next few weeks. Now, I do want to talk about Halloween. Now, John, you know one of my favorite movies of all time, True Romance. I put Alabama Whitman as one of my Mount Rushmore celebrity crushes in a movie. I love her. Patricia Arquette in that movie is perfection. Christian Slater, Clarence Worley, one of the best characters ever on film. Everything in that movie is perfection. True Romance, what's your boy's name? Doug.
I've talked to Doug about that movie as well.
Doug, take all of his movies and toss them. True Romance is the first movie you should go see, and then go see his movies. But here's what we're going to say. Lisa May says Kyrie can't play, but is still guaranteed $19 million this year. Well, I guess he won that argument then. All right, True Romance, amazing movie. Okay, this is what I can't believe. You know what I think of Travis Barker? I do not like Travis Barker. Who is Travis Barker? He was the drummer for Blink-182. He's the drummer for other side projects with Tim Armstrong, blah, blah, blah. Okay? I don't know what he's doing right now. I think he's in Blink-182 or something.
He's with one of the Kardashians now.
Okay. Yeah, he is. Courtney. Mm-hmm. Guess who they got dressed up for Halloween as? Clarence and Alabama Whitman. All right, so we can see right here, I'm going to put it where that's the main picture on the screen there. That's the first picture, okay? And then we'll go to these side pictures here. So if you're listening at home, you're missing these. You got to come hang out the live chat. So you see here, this is them, that's him, that's her. All right? And I'm just going to say, just based on the costume, okay, if we're just looking at the costume itself, looks pretty good, right? I mean, okay, looks pretty good, not bad, all right? They got the nice kiss pose going on here. If I was to ever pick one dude that is literally the opposite of everything Clarence in True Romance stood for, it would be Travis freaking Barker, man. Do you think there is a world where Clarence and Travis, if Clarence from True Romance was a real person, is there a world where those two would ever get, Clarence would hate this guy. He's everything he hates in life. The audacity of this man to get dressed up as my favorite character I've just been upset about it all week. I don't like it, and I think it's one. And then for the Kardashians to get dressed up as Alabama, it's a little bit closer, I guess, because Alabama was like a prostitute when we meet her. Take that for what you will. And I love the Kardashians. I've been on record. It pretty much broke up the podcast for leaving on it. But I think this is a travesty. Has there ever been, or could you ever think of a celebrity that you hate? I don't know which celebrities you hate, John. Could they ever dress up as a character and just get to you like this is? I mean, this really has really upset me. John, you're saying True Romance is my favorite movie. You know that. I mean, but like people, I want people to say I love it. Okay, Clarence is one of my favorite characters of all time. All time, Mount Rushmore best characters. He's number one. He's me. Okay, he's me more than he's freaking Travis Barker. Travis Barker is a punk. He's boring. He's lame. He's I'm a tough guy with tattoos. I mean, every interview I've seen with that guy, this guy is the worst human being. I would not want to hang out with this guy ever. Bad vibes. So I'm saying, is there any celebrities you do not like? And you think of someone they would dress up like your favorite movie character. Would this upset you, or am I insane? Right? I mean, I may be insane. I get it. I feel like I'm insane.
I don't know. I don't.
There's got to be a celebrity you just like.
Most celebrities that I don't like, I just kind of like.
Okay, who? Like who? You're just like, eh.
I just push him off the
okay,
side.
Kevin Spacey. You love that guy? No.
I mean, he's before everything happened.
Well, I'm saying today, bro. I'm not gonna knock any Kevin Spacey. They're all pretty good movies. I can't believe you don't have one celebrity. You're just like, the guy. He's terrible. I cannot stand Travis Barker, and I like Blink-182. And I always went, look, the guy. I'm not saying he's a great drummer. Obviously, I would say he's one of the best drummers in modern rock today. But the person seems like just. He's a guy with zero personality. Like I just would not.
He does seem like a Weasley burnout.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And I've watched many interviews. People know I love music. I've watched many interviews with this guy, and I went, "Is there anything in his head at all? Like, is there anything? Give me something." He's like, "I don't want to talk right now." You're doing an interview, dude. That's the whole point. What are we supposed to do? Stare at your stupid tattoos? But Courtney does look. I mean, she looks all right as Alabama. I will give her that. It does look pretty good, you know. So, what's her name? Margot Robbie dressed up as Alabama Whitman was better. So this was posted on the Facebook group, and the comments were not good at all. People were like, so True Romance has a Facebook page, and they posted that, and people were like, why have you done this? Why is this here? You need to take this down immediately. I hate this. Like, I will stop following this page. This were hundreds of comments, man. I went, at least I'm not alone, baby. At least I'm not on an island by myself. So I would love for people to know the question of the week I might put out there. Which celebrity dressed up as your favorite movie character would set you off? Who's your favorite movie character, John? Just off the cuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be like the number definitive one. I mean, like if I was going to pick like some awesome characters in movies, right? You got, obviously, I've already said Clarence from True Romance. And then, oh, man, let's say, I guess it's kind of tough just thinking it off the cuff. Oh, Clarence, your boy from Pump Up the Volume, Christian Slater.
Again,
okay.
Christian Slater.
Slater from Pump Up the Volume.
Yeah, he's up there.
Okay, you love that character, right? So, I mean, what if he was just, I can't think there's not one actor you're just like, or one musician. There's got to be a musician you do not like.
I mean, the one person that would come to mind would probably be Bobby Brown, but just because he ruined Whitney Houston.
Okay, what if Bobby Brown was like, yo, that would be really weird if he's like, yo, I'm Christian Slater from the Volume. I respect this guy if he knows that role. Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts on that, people, so hit us up with that and all of that jazz. All right, well, that's about all I had, so let's just go ahead and jump into the big daddy of the week. We're doing the Mount Rushmore of Mustachioed Characters. All right, so go ahead, John, set it up while we're doing this. You come up with it.
It's November, also known as Movember, and that's the big thing is No Shave November. Everybody's growing out their stashes in support of pancreatic cancer, and so we decided, you know what, this would be a good opportunity to check out these facial hair dudes and see who sported it the best.
All right, so the stipulation is. It's characters. It's not the man. It's not the man. It's not Tom Selleck. It's not who's the other one? 70s guy. It's not Burt Reynolds. It's not this dude here from Big Lebowski. Sam Elliott. Which, I mean, if we were just doing dudes, that's three. That's three of the four right there. Yeah. Right. We're saying characters, epic characters that I looked at, if they didn't have the mustache, they would be nothing. Like they have defined, the mustache defines them more than they define the mustache. Yeah. Who goes first this week?
You go first.
All right.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. It's going to be tough, man, because I don't know where you're coming at. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a wild mix.
Well, I mean, for some of these characters, the actor and the characters almost one.
Are synonymous, yes.
And so.
Yeah. Real quick, your wife said, Robin said, Cameron Diaz as Elsa would just be a no. That's a good one. That is, I do not like Cameron Diaz either. And if she would have been Alabama, we may have not had a podcast tonight. I may have just destroyed everything in the whole city. If she would have been Alabama Whitman, I would have lost my mind. But anyway, she also says prostate cancer awareness. But I'm not. I've obviously shaved. I cannot go a whole month without shaving. I wish I could do it, but I can't. All right, number one, I'm just going to throw up a nice softball. Where I mean, I'm sure this isn't on your list, or maybe it is. I don't know. But when I thought of mustaches, this is one of the first ones I thought of, and it's been as a Gen Xer, I've seen this character since I was a child. I played many games with him, and he's always had the mustache. The mustache without him would be nothing. Even the baby version of this character has the mustache. And that is Mario. Hey, it's a Super Mario.
He's on my list.
So I've got Mario at number one on mine. I think I've never seen there's probably a game out there where he doesn't have a mustache. I'm not aware of it. In every iteration, like I said, I believe Baby Mario has a mustache. I may have to look at that. Maybe he doesn't, and I just think when you think of that game character, the mustache is essential. If you get dressed up as him for Halloween, you've got to have the mustache. Yeah. You've got to. Like, it's a part of the uniform. You go without it, people are just like, what are you, dude? Like, you're just like a guy wearing a red and blue outfit? You're a plumber? That's cool, man. Cool story. So, yes, number one for me is a Mario. All right.
Well, that's a shocker because I thought you were going to go for the obvious.
I'm never obvious.
And so, since you're not going to go for him.
Go ahead.
Magnum P.I.
Yeah, I thought about it, but.
When I was coming up with things for this list, I was like on the like when we did Muppets, it was, the Mount Rushmore of Muppets that weren't Kermit.
Yes.
And I was thinking, this is like the Mount Rushmore of mustaches that does not belong to Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I mean, I should have probably grabbed Magnum P.I., but I had him at number two for sure. I've got him on the screen right there, obviously. So, yes, Baby Mario does not have the mustache, and that's why he looks like a weird character. Baby Mario, that's not right. But anyway, he should have the mustache. All right, so Magnum P.I., did you watch his show? I didn't. I never really watched it.
When I was a little kid here and there, but I mean, when you are, 8, 9 years old when the show's on, you can't appreciate a show like that,
right?
Because it's set in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And there are scantily clad women on the show.
That's true.
On the regular. There's parts of this show's going over your head.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So.
But no, it is, dude, it's an epic mustache. I mean, it defined the mustache in the 80s. I mean, there was this guy and one other guy, and that was the mustache, So, yeah, okay. That's a good one. So, Magnum P.I., good choice. All right, for my number two, I'm going to go with a character. I've already done cartoons, so that's good. So I'm going to go with a movie guy on the screen. Ron Burgundy, the Anchorman, okay? And if we were just doing guys, like I would probably put Bob Mueller on the list because I believe in my heart of hearts, Bob Mueller, WKRN news reporter here in Nashville, I do believe this. I mean, if I could ever talk to the movie guys, I would ask them. I believe he is the inspiration. I do. I want to keep stressing this. I believe he is truly part of the inspiration for Ron Burgundy. I don't know how that would happen. Maybe they were driving through Nashville. There's some Southern characters in Anchorman. Yeah. And I think somebody watched Bob Mueller and went, that's our guy. Because I'm talking of the major networks, like major ABC, like ABC nighttime news, right? None of those dudes had mustaches.
Walter Cronkite, but it wasn't like that.
Right. This dude, Ron Burgundy, he's freaking Bob Mueller. I said it when Bob Mueller was on the show. I was like, are you the inspiration for this guy? He kind of laughed. So, yes, Ron Burgundy, what a mustache. Once again, you go out, Halloween is this guy. You got to have the mustache. It's epic, and it plays into the character. Just like Magnum P.I. kind of plays into the 80s, like, yeah, man, I'm a tough guy. I got a mustache. Ron Burgundy, that's supposed to be a cool guy mustache. So, Yeah, I and Anchorman 1 is a fantastic movie. It's so good. Part 2, but the mustache is just key. It transformed Will Ferrell into a different person. Like, this is one of those movies where you're like, I kind of forget I'm watching Will Ferrell sometimes. Like, it's kind of wild because of the mustache. So, there we go. That's my number 2, Ron Burgundy.
When I was trying to gather my list together, I was trying to grab from different areas to make my my list. And so I hit TV. So I got to go with music.
Okay.
Freddie Mercury.
That's a good one. I didn't. Well, wait a minute. I thought these were characters, bro. That's a real man. I thought we were doing characters.
You know what?
Did you just pull a Lee? Are you putting like real life people?
I'll pull it off then. Okay. No.
Okay, I'm going to let you retract that one. But in the future, no retractions allowed. Yeah, we said characters. Freddie Mercury's a real man.
Well, I mean, in essence, though, when you're on stage.
Oh, come on. That's weak.
I retract it.
That's weak, man. This is weak. Go on, man. I'm glad I said so. I was about to let that slide. Like, wait, no, these are characters. Okay. If we're doing real life.
In that case.
Yes.
I'm going to go and stick with the 80s.
Okay, go ahead.
Since I've, got Magnum P.I. on there.
Okay, go ahead.
One of the biggest 80s influences, and actually we mentioned it earlier, this mustache is going to go wild on you.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was going to grab that next. I was literally looking at my list going, Hogan's next.
You shouldn't have said nothing, man. You'd have had him.
Wow, I mean, I should let you just do Freddie Mercury, apparently, who's a character. Okay, Hulk Hogan, yeah. I mean, Hulk Hogan, that mustache is... If you do... Like, you've seen vector art where it's just like a picture of... their face is missing, but it just has identifiable like characteristics. Hogan's is just the mustache. Like, you recognize it instantly. Like, if you did a Magnum P.I., and you did the glasses and that hat he wore, that's Magnum P.I. You did Ron Burgundy with stupid suit and the mustache. Like, that's my thing. Like, these mustaches, yes, so for Hulk Hogan, identified him. That was part of his character. Now, he did shave it at some point, and he had to grow that back like quickly because it looked bad. It was like, nah, bro, you need to grow that back. And, who's to say? Maybe if he'd went his whole career without it, we'd have gotten used to it, but that was not the case, and the mustache lives on. Hulk Hogan.
The style, too. I mean, you got the handlebars to it. And
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, not bad. All right, I'm going to go back in time. No, you know what? I'm just going to grab this one quick because since you got Magnum P.I., I've got to get the guy from the 70s that had it. Of course, we know the real guy is Burt Reynolds, but we're going with Bo the Bandit from Smokey and the Bandit. That is Burt Reynolds as the Bandit. Epic movie, fantastic movie. Smokey and the Bandit, one of the great movies of that era. But that mustache... Burt Reynolds was owning it, man. Who looked better in the mustache? Tom Selleck, Burt Reynolds. It's pretty close. I mean, they're both pretty epic, and they're a little bit different.
For what their time was.
Right, but
I would have accepted Turd Ferguson.
Well, yes, I thought you might try to go. And Turd Ferguson is actually still available if you want him. That's actually, it's a different character, and it is your boy. It would almost be like a rest in peace to your boy. But, yeah, I'm going with Bandit. If you want to put Turd Ferguson on later, you could do that. But, yes, and, epic mustache, man. Just kind of, in the 80s, you were either jacked or you had a mustache. That was how you were a man. I mean, and so that was the beauty of Die Hard, the movie, where it kind of took all those tropes and just went, yeah, no, we're not doing this anymore. But anyway. All right, there we go. Bandit, Smokey and the Bandit. All right, so you're your number 3, John. Which real-world character are you going to pick? Are you going to pick?
I'm going to go with the original Tramp.
Oh.
Charlie Chaplin.
That's so funny. Because Charlie Chaplin's actually a real person, so you were actually...
I said the Tramp.
I know, because I had him on my list. That's what's funny. I was actually going to pick him above the Bandit, but I was like, John's not going to pick Charlie Chaplin. I stand corrected. You did. The ladies love Burt Reynolds, man. Linda said, love Burt Reynolds. So, okay, Charlie Chaplin is a classic one, because, let's be honest. We all want to put... Hitler's been in movies before, right? And that is, that's an epic mustache.
Character, yeah.
You see that mustache, you're like, oh, that's Hitler. Like, it really, he's a real person, so we can't really put him on the list, but he's been in movies before, but
he's been portrayed.
But this is basically Charlie Chaplin's, like, kind of nod at the cap, so weird that mustache was ever acceptable. Like, it looks so stupid. Can you imagine growing that thing out?
I mean, I think that's what it was for. I mean, with the silent films, everything had to be over the top.
Right, yeah.
And so I think that was part of it.
I guess so, man. I don't know. That's very weird. All right, Charlie Chaplin, The Tramp, very good. All right, so I'm going to finish off my list. I'm going to go with another cartoon character, but this is actually the first guy I thought of, but he's not like when I started really thinking about it, but it seems The Simpsons keeps coming up a lot, but how can you not have freaking Ned Flanders, man?
Ned Flanders is a good one.
Ned
man.
Flanders is that mustache, maybe my favorite of all of them. It is a great mustache. If I was going to grow a mustache, okay, I would pick Tom Selleck's, obviously. I mean, it's a really good mustache, but my number 2 would be Ned Flanders. It's fantastic. It's part of his character, and it just kind of, I mean, I don't know if he's ever been on the show without it. I'm not sure, but it's kind of funny because it kind of goes, he's kind of a dork, you know, but the mustache makes the ladies love him, so there you go. Mustache is rule, apparently. All right, that's my last one. John, who's your last one? Who's coming in number 4 on the list?
I guess the only way I can introduce this guy is
Oh no,
Verdi Spurdy Verdi Bernie Gertie.
that's a good one.
The Swedish Chef.
I didn't even think about it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Swedish Chef, who actually this would be his second appearance because I believe, did he make an appearance on
the Greatest
Muppets? Not named Kermit. I feel like Lee may have put him on there. Maybe not. Maybe it's his first appearance. Anyway,
Maybe
Swedish
not.
Chef. Yeah, fantastic.
He's definitely an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man, Swedish Chef. Love you know what I think about the Muppets. I think it's one of
Yeah.
the greatest things ever. But yeah, him and Beaker, who did not have a mustache, right? Beaker just had the wild hair. But yeah, it's a pretty good mustache. It's pretty epic. I mean, it's about as good as Ned Flanders on the list of great ones.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's run down our list, and we'll also go down our 1,000 other lists people didn't make it. I had Mario, Mario, Ron Burgundy, Bandit from Smokey and the Bandit. His real name's Bandit Devil or something. Ned Flanders. John had Magnum P.I., Hulk Hogan, The Tramp, a.k.a. Charlie Chaplin, and the Swedish Chef from the Muppets. All right, John, who'd you leave off there?
I left off Groucho Marx because it's not a real mustache.
I did not have that on mine.
I was denied Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Well, you weren't. I mean, you can put whatever you want on there. If you want to put them back on, it's up to you. Do you have your Samity Sam?
No, I didn't. I should have.
That's a good one. Your wife put on the list. Did you have Wyatt Earp, who is in the movie Wyatt Earp, and Tombstone?
I thought about it. But
Pretty good freaking mustache.
Yeah.
Tombstone, you could pick anybody.
Yeah.
Because I had Sam Elliott from The Stranger in Big Lebowski. That may be the best mustache, but, I mean, nobody really knows who that is. I mean, everybody knows who Sam Elliott is, but did you have Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction on your list?
I thought about it, but
pretty good one.
Yeah.
I had Cheech of Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong, that's a good one.
Pretty great mustache. That's about all. That's all my guys. That's all I had.
I forgot his character's name. Ron from.
I would just say the actor. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Nick Offerman.
Oh yeah. Yes, from Parks and Rec. That's a good one.
Wilford Brimley from Name Something.
Cocoon.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The guy that plays in Parks and Rec. What's his name in real life? I can't even think of it. But anyway, he is the dad in the Colin Kaepernick show. He's Colin Kaepernick's dad. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty funny.
He's the dad, and then the lady from Weeds is the mom. It's pretty crazy casting. Anyway, okay.
Clark Gable, pick a movie. I mean,
Clark Gable. I couldn't pick Clark Gable. I have a line. Gone with the Wind. You keep coming back to this movie. It sucks. It's not a good movie.
I mean, not
Come
going
on,
with real
just
people.
run down the list, John. Who else?
Geraldo Rivera
That's a good one.
and Steve
real,
Harvey.
Real person though. Real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if we're doing real, yeah, those are good. So, all right, well, that is our list. I'm sure you will let us know who we missed. I'm sure we're getting some weird ones out there. You know, like, oh, Nick Offerman is the actor. Thank you, Doug. Doug's coming through, man. As soon as he watches True Romance, he's in the club. All right, well,
Let's
that's
not
our
give him that much.
It's Mount Rushmore. Let us know what you think. We'll post on social media. Would love to hear all your thoughts on it. But that was fun.
Tell us who we missed.
That was a fun one. That was a fun list. But now, I'm happy. I'm excited because now it is time for the return of the internet's most famous segment ever. It's time for Dear John.
By the time you
right. It is time for Dear John. And let me explain, if you're just new to the program, what Dear John is. We encourage people to write us with their problems. If you have a problem in life, John here will try to help you. Now, I'm not going to give any guarantees that it will be the right answer, but he will try to assist you with your problem. Sometimes it does not go well. Most times it does not. But anyway, we have someone has written us named Jeff. Now, Jeff has a question for you. I'm going to read the question, and John will give advice, and I will probably rip it to shreds. All right, here we go. Dear John, this is wild. Okay. There is an emo chick that is in my culinary college class. Her name is Megan. We were great friends, but then we got into a horrific argument about something stupid. Now, I can kind of admit... Wait, I'm trying to read this in real time. Then we got in a horrific argument about something stupid. Now I can admit I kind of could do better next time. Okay. The argument was so stupid that I abhor it. I hate it. Every single time I think about it. We talked yesterday and she asked me why I believe someone else who I didn't like over her. I don't know what to tell her. I want her to tell the truth, but I don't want to lose her because I'm tired of losing people. And I know we all can relate. What should I do? John, what? I mean, there's a lot.
Complete temporary insanity.
What do you even think this argument could be about? I mean, let's break this down. They're in culinary school together, right?
I mean, just because there's a third person involved, just the way he worded it.
Yeah.
I mean,
So they got into an argument.
Yeah.
He was obviously wrong, right? But I don't think she's letting off the fact that he was wrong. Like, she's basically going, why did you believe person A? She obviously told him something that he did not believe. We've all done that before. So we can relate to that. I don't know about the pushing everyone away part. That's dark. But anyways, but maybe we're all guilty of that too. So she believed something. He believed something else. He was wrong because he believed another person in this story. All right. So it's an emo chick. Okay. That's very important. That was at the beginning. Emo chick. All right. So what can you do to make this better, John? I mean, it seems pretty simple, but
yeah, buy her a Chemical Romance T-shirt.
That's good. That's Dear John. What do you do? What do you do when? I mean, essentially, what he's asking is, what do you do when you make a huge mistake with someone that you like, and maybe not even romantically, but platonically? And when you like someone as a friend, or you like someone as more. You are putting validation in their opinions. I mean, that's why I think we become friends with people. We don't always agree with each other's opinions, but we do put valid thought into them. It's like the old thing.
You just don't tell somebody they're stupid for believing something.
Right. And if you're driving down the street with someone, it's your person, like your road dog. You drive everywhere with them. You're like, should we turn right or left? And you're like, left. And you turn right. Like, why are you doing that? Like, so she does not... My thing with the way it was written, I wish there was a little bit more detail, but it does not seem she's very upset still about it. So is there anything he really can do besides buy her a Chemical Romance T-shirt? I mean, that's a pretty good first step, truthfully.
My go-to is self-deprecating humor.
Okay.
And make them laugh, but put yourself down at the same time. That way, there's a lot of issues like this is ego driven, and by doing that, it kind of removes the ego aspect of it out of it, and she should be able to see that with those actions. Yeah,
I mean that usually does help. Once again, you've already told her how you're wrong, and so you're probably just jumping on John's. Apparently, he's in the chat. It wasn't that big of an argument, so not really emotional. I don't know what's going on here, but. I mean, sometimes you gotta give it time, and sometimes time will show you that it will not be fixed. I've had friends in this similar situation. I worked with a girl, and we were really good friends, and her husband, all of us worked together. Her husband, her, and me, and her husband was treating someone poorly that was another friend of mine, and so I basically told him, stop treating that person poorly. And then I went to the wife and I go, what's wrong with your husband? And she was very offended by that. And our friendship basically deteriorated after that. I don't regret it because I think it was the right thing to do, but I still miss that friendship. I mean, we were really close. We had the same kind of sense of humor. We laughed at the same things. We liked the same things. And it was cool having a work friend. But some relationships, once you step over a certain point, cannot be fixed. But I like John. I want to see you, Jeffrey, in the chat. I want to see you go buy this shirt. And I want to see video of you giving that shirt to her, because I think you should just cut it off. I think that might solve everything. Is that who kids like today? My Chemical Romance? I don't know. Are there any emo? I don't know who current emo bands in. Like, I couldn't tell you one to save my life. But My Chemical Romance is a good starting point. Good band. Everyone likes them. All right. So your final advice is
self-deprecating humor. T-shirt. You're in.
There we go. That's Dear John. All right, so that is Dear John, and that we're coming up to the end of the show. I do want to give a big shout. I try to do this at the end of every episode. I watched a series on Hulu that I went in thinking, I don't know if it's going to be good. It stars Martin Short, stars Steve Martin, stars Selena Gomez. It's called Only Murders in the Building. And I think this show was written specifically for someone like me. I really do. I say that for a number of reasons. Number one, in this show, they're making a podcast. A lot of podcast humor, like deep cut, like I had to really explain to my wife some of the. I was like, oh, that's that, and this is this. Martin Short, everyone my age loves Martin Short, and Steve Martin. I'm not the biggest Martin Short fan. I will say that, but I'm gonna. Selena Gomez, I've seen her and stuff. I like her. I think she's got a cool vibe to her. Of all those people, Martin Short, funniest he's ever been in my life. He made me laugh every time he was on the screen. Yes, the thing with Martin Short is sometimes he's way over the top, right?
He can be manic sometimes.
Like Jiminy Glick.
Yeah.
He literally would say, it got to the point where he would say anything, and just the way he would say it, I was like, this guy better win an award for this show, honestly. He better win an award for the show, because this is the funniest I've ever seen him on a show. I thought the series was great. It wraps up. Maybe a season 2. We'll see. But if you're looking for something to watch, it's very kind of smart. My wife was like, she didn't know if she was into it. And after the second episode, she loved it. And for me and her, we generally like kind of the same things. But this one I didn't know, because it's a little bit nerdy. It's a little bit, kind of not, it's not Big Bang. It's like more smart. I'm trying to think of a nice word, but it's not a stupid comedy. It's but it's funny. There's funny parts in it. So if you're looking for something to watch, you got Hulu. You got to get Hulu. Hulu's got some great shows right now, and Only Murders in the Building. If you're a podcaster, if you like podcasting, you'll like it. There's some jokes about Serial, the podcast in there. Tina Fey's playing a version of Sarah Koenig, who it's hilarious, dude. So if you're looking for something to watch, definitely do that. And then someone said Dope Sick is another show in there with Michael Keaton. It's supposed to be really good, so I'll probably check that out next. Is there anything you've been watching?
Not that I would brag about.
Okay, well, there you go. All right, well, that is the end of the program, people. If you are not shaving for the entire month, we would like to know about it. Hit us up on social media. How do you find all those cool things? You go to the website, which is bybpod.com. It's up there somewhere. Yes, bybpod.com. You go there. It's got all of our information in, all the socials. So if you like Facebook, we're doing Facebook, which is now, the company is Meta. But Facebook.com is still stupid. We didn't even get into that. Anyways, Facebook, you like that. Twitter, how about you like that? You like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We're on all of them, all right? So there's ways to communicate with us. We would love to hear from you more often. It brightens our day when we hear from you. And there's ways to grab the podcast. So, if you're listening right now, you already know how to do it. But, if you're telling a friend about it, just go to the website. All the links are up there. Also, John, what about that Amazon link on there?
You got Christmas coming. Thanksgiving's coming. Everything's coming. Don't just go straight to the Amazon. Stop by bybpod.com. Hit on that Amazon affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but you're giving a gift to the guys that you love here at BYB Pod.
There we go. Yeah, well, it helps the show immensely, really. And like I say, it does not cost you a penny. And so that's the best way to support us. If you want, can I Venmo? If you're going to Venmo us, yes, we're going to say yes. But the best way to do it is buy all your shopping Once again, you people in live chat, I need you to understand this. Go to bybpod.com, click on that Amazon link, then buy a bunch of crap you don't need. And like all of our past episodes are up there. So if you're looking for that Bob Mueller interview, if you want to go check that out, you can search for it, find it, all that fun stuff. And the main thing, tell your friends about the show, share us on social media. You know, that's the best way to do it. Helps us grow. And we've seen the numbers kind of come back up lately, so I'm feeling good about it. So with all that being said, John, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
To the moon, baby. Not bad. Not too bad.